What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Cass, and as always, so happy that you guys are here, whether you have been here for a really long time or you are new to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I have so many exciting things planned for 2023 and I'm just very excited to bring you guys along. It's going to be such a fun year, so make sure that you are subscribed so that you don't miss any videos or anything from me. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok too if you want to see what I'm posting on there. But I just thought that a fun video as my first video of 2023 would be like a little get to know me Q&A or get to know me better, like kind of an updated Q&A. I haven't done one of these in a really long time, so that's what we're going to be doing today. I put a question box thingy on my Instagram story and asked you guys what you wanted to know about me, and so I picked 11 questions from your guys' questions on there on my story, so I'm going to be answering all of those for you. But first, if you are new here or you're like pretty new or really just to kind of get to know me better, I wanted to do like a little bit of backstory really quick. So me and my husband got married in December of 2021, and then we were living in Texas at the time. We got a dog, Maple, there in Texas, and then we moved to Florida in August of 2022, so pretty recent. We've been living here in Florida for almost 6 months and we love it so much. We are trying to buy a house this year, so I'm gonna talk a little more about this later in one of the questions, but just like getting a loan and stuff has been a lot. It's been a lot. So we're trying to get a house this year. Definitely will be in a house whether we own that house or rent. We're done with apartments after this year. We're like, no, we've been living in apartments for way too long, so we're pretty done with that. So we're gonna be getting a house. We are staying in Florida for our house, at least for right now. Like, we just love Florida so much and we don't have any plans on leaving. I am 22 years old, almost 23. Next month I will be 23, which is so crazy, but also like feels like the right age. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like I would be turning 23 this year. I also love having a 2000 birthday because my birthday, like my age, always changes with the year. And I just love that. It's so simple, so easy. I love that. So let's just get on with the questions. The first one is, how are you and what are workouts that you do? I am really good. I'm glad that, like, I love Christmas, but I'm glad that Christmas and like winter is over. At least in Florida, winter is over. It's so warm here right now. We had like a little bit of a cold front, but it's getting so much warmer. It's like springtime. So I do not thrive in winter. Definitely spring, summer, and fall are like my favorites. So I am really good because the weather is warm. I'm getting a little tanner, which we love. And yeah, I've just been good. Me and Johnny have been so good. Maple's good. Everyone's good. We've been feeling great. So thank you so much for asking. And about the workouts, we actually just got new gym memberships at a new gym, and I've been doing workout classes. So recently I've been doing lots of cycling classes. I'm trying to do cycling like 2 times a week and then some sort of yoga class 2 times a week. I know there's like more peaceful, restful yoga classes and then more like intense yoga classes that are like a little faster pace. So I'm gonna try to do one of those a week. And then on the other day, because I like to do 5 workouts a week, Monday through Friday, I never work out on the weekends because I like to give myself a break. For the other day, I would just do cardio and like arms because my arms aren't really getting worked with like cycling and yoga. So that's the workouts that I've been doing, and I really like that workout routine. I love the classes. I feel like for me, personally, I do better going to workout classes than just like working out on my own. I kind of just like having an instructor being like, okay, this is what we're doing. And I also really love cycling because I did cycling classes in college and loved it. So honestly, I would love to be like a cycling or spin instructor one day. It's not really something I've looked into, but I would be very interested in that. Next question is, what was your major in college and how did you get into being an influencer? So my major in college was digital media production, and then I minored in Spanish, which I feel like no one knows because I don't really speak Spanish, but I actually took 7 years of Spanish, if you can believe that. I did like post-secondary classes in high school, so I only actually went to college for 3 years, which was really nice, like financially. And honestly, I'm not really someone who did like the whole college thing, like drinking, partying. I didn't do any of that. And so for me, like being in college for 3 years was honestly perfect. But I kind of got into being an influencer all the way back in high school, my senior year of high school, and kind of like junior year too. I just started posting whatever the heck I wanted on Instagram. I had a blog, which I never use anymore. Haven't used it, I think, since high school, maybe college, like freshman year. But I kind of just started getting more and more followers on Instagram. Like for the time, it was a lot. I had like over 10,000 followers, which this is like 2017. So that's like kind of like not everyone had over 10,000 followers, you know? And so even my friends would be like, how are you getting so many followers? I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm just posting whatever I want to post, you know? And so I kind of started getting followers in high school and then more into college, and I would just share my life. And then when TikTok came out, I didn't really want to have a TikTok because I was like in school, so focused on my Instagram and my YouTube at the time. So I was just like, no, I'm not downloading TikTok. And then finally my roommate convinced me, downloaded TikTok, and now I have 200,000 followers on there, which I know isn't like a crazy ton. Like some people have millions, but for me that is like a huge accomplishment just from college to now gaining that much and like gaining that audience. I don't know, I never really was like, oh, I want to be an influencer. That never really crossed my mind. It just kind of happened. And then with my major, I was honestly learning a lot of the things that I use like in my career now. But with my major, I either wanted to be a news anchor or a sportscaster or like an editor for a magazine, because I could do all of that with my major. And then, you know, COVID happened and I'm graduating in 2021. So like post-COVID, but not really. Like things were still, you know, in the air with COVID. So I was applying to jobs. The salary for a lot of them was basically what I was already making doing social media, and I wasn't even doing it full time yet. I was just doing it part time. When I realized that I would either have to get a job, like a 9-to-5 job, and be making the same salary as I was already making, I was like, I don't really think I want to get one of those jobs. Me and Johnny were already dating at this point. We knew we were gonna get engaged, and he was a teacher. So in my head, I was like, we're gonna have his salary for sure, his teaching salary, and then whatever I make will be like on top of that. So if I don't want to get a 9-to-5 right away, I don't have to. And so I didn't. And then everything just kind of took off from there. I have management now, which I am super thankful for, and just being really consistent on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I don't know, that's kind of how I got into it. I don't have like a crazy story where it's like, oh, I was posting this and this. Like it just kind of happened, which I feel so blessed and so lucky. I feel like this is the perfect job for me because I love talking, I love filming, I love editing, like especially YouTube videos. I love to edit YouTube videos and like put my creative touch on things. And so honestly, it's the perfect job, and I'm so thankful for all of you. I wouldn't have a job if it weren't for all of you, so thank you for watching this video even. So this question kind of goes along with what I was just talking about. It says, before you met Johnny, what did you plan on doing after college, and did you plan to move? Before we had even met, I was already like, as soon as I graduate, I am moving out of Ohio. I was planning on applying to jobs in pretty much Texas and Florida, and then really wherever else I could apply and get a job, but those are really the two states that I would have like wanted to move to. And so I was planning on applying to a bunch of jobs there. So yeah, I was already planning on leaving Ohio and my family and my friends. It wasn't like I met Johnny and then was like, oh, now I'm gonna move type of thing. I was already planning on doing that, which I feel like made it a lot easier when the move came. Tell us about you and your husband, like some things that we don't know. I was really trying to think of things that you guys don't know. I feel like we share so much, but obviously at the same time there's so much that we don't share because you can't put every single thing out on the internet, and like we like to keep, you know, some things just between us. So I was trying to think of things, and one thing that came to mind was that, first of all, Johnny's the best husband ever. Like I'm sure every wife says that about their husband, but honestly he is. So in our relationship, he is the one who like pays all of our bills, schedules all of our appointments, any like oil change, doctor's appointment, vet appointment for Maple, grooming, literally anything like that. Johnny is planning all of that. He pays all of our bills. I've not paid a single bill like since we've been married or anything. He does all of that, which is super, super nice. And then like I'm usually the one who cooks dinner unless we're having meat, like chicken, hamburgers, really any kind of meat. Actually, I never cook meat, but if it's anything else, then I will do the cooking. Something else is 95% of the time I'm always up before him. I'm kind of an early bird. I can't hang late at night, but he is always up super, super late. He is definitely a night owl, and especially living on the East Coast, like he is from California originally, but then was living in Oregon basically like his whole upbringing. He was in Oregon, and so I feel like he's just kind of still on the West Coast time, but he's up so late. And not me. I go to bed at like 11-ish, and then I'm up by like 7 at least every day. Normally not earlier than 7, and he's always sleeping for a little bit longer after me. Another thing is that Johnny has 5 tattoos and I only have 1, but he definitely wants way more. He wants so many more tattoos, and I'm thinking if I get any more, it'd be like 2-ish more, like small ones. My one I have right now is very, very small already, and yeah, I don't think I'd want like anything crazy, just like maybe 2 low ones. I don't know. Do you have a podcast? I love this question because I have been wanting to start a podcast for so long. I don't have one right now, as of right now, but stay tuned because I really want one. I feel like if I were to have a podcast, it would be basically just me talking, and like I feel like it would be pretty girly-ish, you know? I am like a very much girly girl, and so I feel like I'd want to talk about like girl stuff, you know? But I also feel like I would want to maybe do it with someone, like another girl, that way we can kind of like go off of each other. I feel like if I had a podcast just me, I would just be like rambling on and on and on, and it's like, I don't know, would anyone even listen to that if it were just me? I feel like it'd be better if it were me with someone. So I don't have a podcast right now, maybe in the future, but me and Johnny do have our Sip with the Spinellis segment on our YouTube channel, our joint one. It should be linked down below, and they are kind of like podcast form. They're more sit down videos. We will either like give advice on stuff or read like stories that we get in and like react to the stories, so you could always go watch those. This question is, any harsh realities of working for yourself? I do love to work for myself. Like, I'll say like some of the positives first before I like say all the negatives. I love making my own schedule and being my own boss. Even like in high school with the jobs I had, I didn't like do very well with having a boss. It's not that I like can't work with other people. I just love to be in charge and my own boss, and I feel like that's not really a bad thing. So working for myself definitely is perfect for me. Like, I love it so much, and I'm a very organized person, so I don't have a problem with being like, no, I need to get work done from this time to this time, and like blocking out all the distractions. Like, I'm not someone who will just sit at home all day and do nothing. I have to feel productive every day, or I will get like so anxious and antsy. So I do love that, making my own schedule and everything. It's really nice because since we don't live near any of our close friends or family, like with trips and stuff, when people come to visit us, I can plan to get a bunch of work done beforehand and like after they leave, and I'm not like working per se while they're here. So stuff like that is really nice. But on the flip side of that, it is so hard to get a home loan and show like everything that you're making, especially when you're making income from a bunch of different places. It's not just like one company who is paying me. It's so hard to show your income for bank loans, for like houses. They are so strict about that. That's why we're having like so many issues right now. And then also taxes, like filing your taxes, that is so awful. Working for yourself and being self-employed, that's just not a fun time. I feel like those are the 2 huge things that come to mind when I think of like a very harsh thing about working for yourself. Do you get overwhelmed with social media? I really like this question because I feel like it can be so one extreme or the other with influencers and people who do social media. Personally, I don't get super overwhelmed with like work stuff or like hate comments per se. I get overwhelmed with myself. Like, I'm really a perfectionist. And so, like, if my Instagram feed isn't looking so perfect, I will get so overwhelmed and be like, okay, I need to do this and this and this. Like, I need to shoot this better, this better. Even, like, I will post a TikTok and everyone loves it. And I'm like, no, like, that was awful. Like, could have done that so much better. Like, I think I get overwhelmed when I feel like I can be doing so much better than I am, if that makes sense. It's not any of you guys that overwhelm me, or it's like my manager or anything like that. It's myself and like being so hard on myself. But that is something that I can work on, so that's good. What is something that God taught you in 2022? I honestly feel like throughout the whole year I learned so many different things. Honestly, probably 1 per month, like I could say. But I feel like the overarching theme of 2022 was everything is on like God's timing and nothing is on my own timing. I can sit here and plan like my 5-year plan or whatever, and nothing is gonna go to my plan or when my timing is. And the awesome thing though is that God's timing is always so much better than your own and like what you thought you wanted for your life. And anything that I could even think of or plan, like God has so much more for me and just so much better for me than I can even think of. So I feel like that's like the overarching thing that I learned was just, you know, nothing is in my timing and I can't control it. And I personally find so much peace in that, because if I try to plan out everything, I will just get overwhelmed, like I said, with the social media thing. It's very peaceful to me that nothing is in my own timing. Everything is in God's timing and He has everything under control. Any other cities in Florida you would consider living in? So like I said, we moved here in August and we live in St. Pete, Florida, if you're new here and didn't know that. I feel like any other cities that we would move to is like cities really close to St. Pete. Like I could see us living in Tampa, or we could go like north or south a little bit, like Sarasota or like north of Clearwater area. But I feel like we will never leave this little area of Florida, like the West Coast and like this part of it specifically. I don't think I would really live up in the Panhandle. I just love this area so much, and the weather here is amazing. We would only go like a little north or a little south or to Tampa, but other than that, no. I wanted to end this video on a lighter note. So this question is, what hair products do you use and can you post a hair wash routine? I feel like I want to film an updated night routine and like do a hair wash and full skincare and that, so I'll show like all the products in that video. But my absolute favorite hair products, like shampoo and conditioner and hair mask and honestly hair oils, I use like all of their stuff, is Way. I'll put like some of the products that I use up here, and I'm pretty sure they're all linked on my Like to Know It. But I love their products so much. They make my hair feel so clean, so soft. I swear that's how I'm like keeping my hair so healthy, is the Way products. I use their medium hair shampoo, medium hair conditioner, and then I think it's like fine to medium, I think, hair mask, and then there's like one of their oils that I use. Those are the 4 products that I'm like always using, but obviously I use some of their other stuff like here and there. And I also use their detox shampoo, so if my hair is feeling like it just needs like an extra, I don't even know, cleanliness, then I use their detox shampoo, and it's seriously amazing. You would not regret using that shampoo. But that's all the questions that I have for today. Thank you so much to everyone who wrote in on my Instagram story. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram so you can be a part of my next Q&A. And thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. This year I want to be better about replying to YouTube comments. I feel like I do pretty good on Instagram and TikTok. I need to be better about replying to YouTube. So leave me a comment down below. And I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!